Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. I'm psychotherapist and spiritual medium and now author Kellee White. I can't leave that part out. And welcome to Ask Me Anything. Today is September 12th, 2024. Oh my gosh, let me say hi to people. And there's a lot going on and a lot to talk about. And if you see these beautiful flowers back here, if I turn this way, those are from James in Prague. James sent me some beautiful flowers. Thanks, honey. For my book. So it's very, very exciting time for me. So anyway, and I wanted to thank my friend Lori for sending me beautiful flowers last week. Thank you, Lori. They were stunning. So let me say hi to people, and I've got a lot to talk about tonight. So hi, Sherry Craft. I am going to talk about that question, Sherry. I appreciate that. Hi, Toby. Thank you. She said, Kellee, I love who you dedicated your book to, which was my mother. Thank you. She was my ghostwriter. And hi, MKD. Hi, DD. Enjoyed my book. Oh, that's so sweet. Masterpiece. Oh, my gosh. DD, that's so sweet. Hi, Renee. Hi there. Oh, that was a fun interview with James on Monday. Thank you. Hi, Lisa Strand. I am going to get back to that question, Lisa. Thank you. Hi, Karen Schumann. Hi, Sarah Stone. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Tracy O. Ooh, you're turning the big 6-0 on September 16th. Well, I'll definitely come back to you and get you a reading, because that's a very special day, the 16th and 17th, very special. Hi, Eric. Hi, Stacy. The moon, exactly. It already looks like a big orange, right? Hi, Nettie. Hi, Vincy. Hi, Linda. Hi, Laura. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Julie. Hi, Rose. Hi, Lori Counts. I'm going to tell your story, Lori. Hi, Angela. Oh, here we go. So, and hi, Cedar. Hi, Evie. So, and hi, Gayla. I could keep going on and on, but I have a lot to talk about tonight. So I thought I would share a few things first, a few announcements, if you will. So last week, I apologize. I actually didn't feel well at the last minute, and it was kind of funny, but not funny, but kind of funny. I mean, I have a sense of humor about this, but at the time I didn't. But if Don was out in the back, in our back, I live on a farm in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin. And he was we have a giant mower, and he's out there mowing, And for some reason, I ended up with a gastritis attack, and it was pretty bad. And I'm trying to get Don's attention on the mower. I'm like, trying to get his attention, and I couldn't, because when he's mowing, he's in that space of, I don't know, it's just not going to happen. So I got in my car and I drove myself to the emergency hospital. I really did. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And so I had to cancel the show. So sorry. I kept saying to the doctor, am I going to be out in time? And there's just no way. So it's been a strange, interesting, energetic time for me. And I'm sure for everybody. So that's the first thing I wanted to say. So sorry about that. Second thing I wanted to mention is if my little brother Theo Katzman is performing tonight in Los Angeles at the Troubadour, and it's sold out. It's been sold out for quite some time. But if any of the people watching tonight are going to be in Los Angeles at that show, because Theo and I share some fans apparently, and if anybody is going to be at the Troubadour, please take a video for me, please, because I'm so bummed that I can't be there. The schedules just didn't work out for me to be there. So I did want to mention that, and I look forward to looking at some of the highlights of Theo tonight at the Troubadour in Los Angeles. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that my daughter, Dr. Holiday Bean, and her husband, Dr. Anthony Bean, they founded the Telos Project. And you might say, what is the Telos Project? And the Telos Project is it's a Texas-based nonprofit dedicated to providing high quality and affordable mental health services. And they offer therapy and assessment services to those in need, making a significant impact on mental health support in the community. So tonight, if you feel like shopping, like for gifts for the upcoming holidays, the Telos Project gets 20% of everything that people purchase from the KendraScott.com, and it's a jewelry shop. And everybody that purchases from anybody that purchases something from them, 20% of that purchase will go directly to the Telos Project. And it's an amazing way to give back while you're doing your holiday shopping early. So I really wanted to let everybody know about that. I'm really proud of my daughter and my son-in-law for finding the Telos Project. It's really a special place. So just wanted to mention that. And I wanted to also say this. Thank you for buying my book from the bottom of my heart. Reading my book, thank you so much for reading it. And thank you for loving my book. It's just been an unbelievable experience. And the comments that I'm getting and the emails and the calls and the texts have been really, Dawn will tell you, overwhelming. When I went to write this book, I just felt that people needed to understand their own experiences, perhaps through my experiences, that Earth is just a damn hard place to be. And everybody's going to get kind of thrown in by design, the things, and have to learn the things that they need to learn on Earth. And so I really wanted to, in all the vulnerability that I could, put out my own story so people would understand their own life story and have compassion for what they went through. And I think that's really the biggest message. Well, I've got a lot of messages in that book, but have a lot of compassion for whatever you went through. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for buying my book and loving it. And today it's been #1 now since it came out early, a week early. And it's been #1 in spirituality on Amazon. And I'm so thrilled about that. And also today it was picked up in a press release by 140 TV stations across the United States. So I'm really, really happy about that. And also, Greg Braden asked me if he could put my book on his newsletter that goes out October 1st. And so Greg Braden has a newsletter. If you go to his website, you will see his newsletter, and it's going to feature my book on that. So, and also, there's one last thing I want to say, that anybody at this stage who purchases my book will get the free meditation that I have there. You put a code in, and if you haven't received it, send us an email and Michelle will send it to you. Okay, if you haven't received it and you've purchased the book. Okay, so I want everybody to get a chance for that. So, okay, now that I've kind of gone through all of that, I really do want to talk about the eclipses that are going on, because eclipses just are life-changing here. And so we're going to be talking about eclipses. And before I get into this particular eclipse on the 17th of September, before I do that, well, I do want to, let me just say this. So with eclipse season, and we are in eclipse season now, and it's going to go until about October, probably around the 15th. So we are in it. So if you guys feel this energy, like it's intense energy, it's emotional energy, you can almost cut it with a knife energy. You can just feel this energy. Well, this energy creates a portal. And so this portal for the next few weeks could see, and I'm hearing from so many clients and so many people I know that are telling me they've had sudden loss. All of a sudden somebody passes away, or all of a sudden somebody's pregnant. So we're going to see souls coming in and souls exiting. This is like a portal that's created during this time. And a story that I have, my client told me that I could tell this story, so I'm going to tell this story because it's really quite an extraordinary story. And these kind of things can happen to all of us, actually. So my client was sitting out in her backyard, just minding her own business with her wonderful dog, and they were just sitting there minding their own business. This was about 2 weeks ago, and a large gray owl in the middle of the day just landed and stood there and stared at my client and her dog. Just stood there and stared. The dog went over to the owl. The dog actually kind of sniffed at the owl. Owl didn't move. The owl just stayed there staring. The owl stayed so long that my client went in to get her phone to take a picture of this owl and got many pictures of the owl. The owl stayed for quite some time. Now, this is unheard of. The owl was not hurt. The owl was just staying there. So she immediately gave me a text and said, "What's going on here?" Because this is clearly a message. And we didn't know what the message was. I mean, I could say for sure it was your father giving you a message because her father had passed and remains close to her. But it's almost seemed larger than that. It could be, or definitely could have been her father giving a message. This was really interesting because in the Cherokee belief system, and she happens to be part Cherokee, in the Cherokee belief system, they believe a gray owl the significance is it brings a message of somebody who has died or about to die. But we didn't know this at the time. And what happened is the very, very next day, she received a call that her sister had passed away suddenly, just a quick, sudden pass. I thought, wow, that's just amazing how the universe works. How she got a message like that. But again, we wouldn't have known what the message was at that moment, because how would you know you don't know what you don't know. So we may get all kinds of signs, and you just can't always know what the message is going to bring. So I thought that was really interesting. And I always say pay attention to totems, but I never had heard, and I saw the pictures of this owl just standing right there, just staring for a long time, several minutes. Anyway, I just had to share that story because I thought it was really, really an important story. So let's talk about September 16th before we even get to the eclipse season, because I have a lot to say about this particular eclipse. But on September 16th, and I know I saw that it's somebody's birthday here, and I really want to say happy birthday to you, Tracy O. You're turning 60 on September 16th, which makes you a true Virgo, just like me, a true Virgo. In Vedic astrology or Western astrology, you are a true Virgo. And September 16th is an 8 of clubs, so you'd be very, very psychic. Now, and I will talk about the eclipse will affect you probably greatly. You're turning 60, you're just coming out of a Saturn return, but the 16th is a very powerful day. So I'm going to call this an empath alert. So if you are sensitive, if you're an empath, an HSP, September 16th, Mars, the planet of war and intensity, squares the north and south node of the moon, Rahu and Ketu, and it forms a T-square. So a T-square occurs when two planets are opposed to one another. And this is a very intense alignment because it also occurs with the lunar eclipse. And because Mars is going through the nakshatra called Ardra, which means a lot of civil unrest and a lot of turmoil. So this could bring some real chaotic energy on Monday the 16th. So just kind of keep an eye out for that. And so what you would be doing is you would be keeping yourself in a calm place. The world might go cattywampus, whatever it does, just stay as calm as you can, because the 16th is a energy provoking day. We'll call it that, energy provoking. I kind of like that, Oh dear. Anyway, let's talk about the next day on this lunar eclipse. Now, lunar eclipses bring change suddenly, and they bring change like the last one. And I've talked about this many times. I think it was on March 27th. And then we had that 18 hours later or 10 hours later or something, the bridge collapsed with the ship. So this is the kind of thing that eclipses can do. And this eclipse is a super harvest moon, and it's going to bring a wave, if you will, of emotional introspection and spiritual awakening. And if you haven't read my book, it really is about a spiritual awakening, my spiritual awakening, of which, by the way, I think everybody, if you're watching this show, you are in the beginning, middle, or in the end of a spiritual awakening. Definitely, because this is the kind of information that you'd be wanting to have. So this full moon on September 17th, it's in Pisces in Vedic astrology, and also in Western astrology, interesting enough, it's just at different degrees. And this full moon brings a surge of emotional depth, and it brings heightened intuition, because Pisces energy is mystical. It emphasizes spiritual growth, compassion, healing. And this full moon can be particularly transformative for those that are seeking to release emotional baggage or past patterns that no longer serve their spiritual path. And the thing about a spiritual awakening is this: you almost can't hold on to the old negative things anymore. It's like this kind of energy you need to look, it'll force you probably to look at your behavior or anybody else's behavior, or things that you just have to let go of that are just blocking your growth. Okay. Now the 17th, which is Tuesday, this lunar eclipse, it's in the fierce nakshatra. So a nakshatra is the celestial house in Vedic astrology, and this one is called Purva Bhadrapada, and that brings fire, like in passionate energy, and it increases the desire for a deeper awareness and an elevated consciousness. Okay, it's really important because Pisces has a lot to do with the 12th house, rules the 12th house, and the 12th house is all about unconsciousness. And so this is a time period, these eclipses that are coming up, particularly this first one, is going to help shake you up on the side of waking up. It's elevating your consciousness. So on the shadow side, this lunar eclipse, it can bring an impulsive or a critical mind. And so one of the symbols of this Purva Bhadrapada is a man with two faces. And that means that something could be hidden and that you find out that is revealed. That's certainly a possibility. Another possibility of this eclipse, though, is that this nakshatra is ruled by Jupiter. And this eclipse is in the Jupiter-ruled sign of Pisces. Now, in Vedic astrology, Jupiter is the ancient ruler of Pisces. And so what does Pisces do? It magnifies everything that it touches. So ultimately, this gives you the ability to experience a greater spiritual depth, and great transformation is possible now if you are open to that. And so again, because Pisces is associated with the 12th house, and that is the house of unconsciousness, it's interesting because now it's time to crack that open, if you will. I guess I'll be using that a lot. Eclipses are points of significant change that offer us insights into our own evolution. And remember, we're all on this journey to have a spiritual awakening. And to make significant progress. And in order to make significant progress in your growth on Earth, you have to take some risks. You have to you have to heal. You have to be able to move on. And so what eclipses do is they take us from this road to this road. They'll pop you up over here. And they carry like particular there's a spiritual connotation to the energy. It awakens us to our greater potential. And so during this period of time, it's really good to go, inward. Introspection, yoga, prayer, kind of retreat into a positive, mindful place, maybe a quiet place, any place that's peaceful that will bring, a healing environment, because it's also a time to cultivate compassion for yourself and for others. And I always know you have to have compassion for whatever you have gone through. So this particular lunar eclipse on September 17th, Central Time, it starts at 7:40 p.m. Central Time. Okay, so that's 8:40 p.m. Eastern Time and 5:40 p.m. Pacific Time. And then the time of the greatest part of the eclipse is at 9:44 Central Time. And then it ends about almost 1 in the morning, 12:47 Central Time. And the eclipse lasts 246 minutes. So it's a nice long eclipse here. So it's a big deal because this eclipse, it's like a beacon of spiritual energy that comes through it. And it has to do with emotional release. And because this full moon is in Pisces, it's going to invite us, if you will, to dive deep into your subconscious and explore maybe some hidden realms of your soul and emerge transformed, because Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac and it embodies dreams and intuition and the mysteries of the universe. So this event is an invitation to heal and to create and to connect with the deepest part of your being. So it's a very, very powerful time. This eclipse has to do with completion and reflection. And so you might want to look at what has been completed, that you've completed, and then really reflect on it. It also is a time for heightened intuition. So even if you think you're not psychic out there, and everybody has psychic ability, this is the time where your intuition will be heightened. Pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to your gut feelings. Look for signs. This is also a big time for emotional release, because the watery energy of Pisces encourages emotional healing, and this makes it a potent time to release old wounds, old traumas, and limiting beliefs. And really what gets people stuck in life, should write a book on this, is our limited beliefs. If you have a limited belief, I can't do this, well, guess what? You won't do that. I mean, whatever interject you swallowed from your childhood, or later on in an abusive relationship or whatever, really look at all of that, because your soul is so full and dynamic that you have to remember, like, whatever anybody else's shit that was put on you, you've got to get rid of this. You've got to get rid of it and do as much healing on yourself as you can. This is a perfect time to do this. It's a perfect time to look at your wounds and create a spiritual awakening, or a spiritual awakening will start to create in you, I should say, because it's really the time to release the past. And again, this will look at your dreams. Often you'll find a wealth of information in your dreams. Oh my gosh. But so the theme of this full moon is emotional healing, spiritual awakening. It has a lot to do with creativity and inspiration time too, because if you are thinking of writing or coming up with new ideas, oh my gosh, let that creativity flow. Perfect time for that. And it's the best time for compassion and empathy for yourself, of really who you are on this planet, what you have gone through. I think it's the time to do it. So I invite everybody to embrace their vulnerability. Because when you are vulnerable, when I finally had to just give up with whatever my ego was running and driving me to do, and when I just gave all that up, literally, the vulnerability in that was extraordinary, and that's when the healing came in. So please remember that. And this is the best time for emotional introspection. Excellent time for that. So I know that you guys can do this. Now, I will say this is not the time to put out your crystals or make moon water, not with an eclipse. Eclipses, you don't want to put your crystals out. It's just not that kind of energy. It's too intense. So please don't be putting your crystals out. Not a time for that. Okay, so I hope that helps everybody to understand these energies. And then again, we're going to be in this eclipse energy for for a few weeks till about October 15th. And the eclipse after this is October 2nd. So if you were born, I'm going to say anytime in September, anytime in October, lives will change. And an eclipse will take us from this road to this road. And these are powerful eclipses. The eclipse in October is in Virgo, and it's a K2 eclipse in Virgo, and we'll talk about that. And Virgo has a lot to do with health and mental health and also physical health. So you really want to start taking really great care of your immune system, because these eclipses, they mean business. If it sent me to the hospital, actually 3 times I had to go, sent me to the hospital. So I was like, okay, I'm paying attention. Now on the 3rd time is a charm. You don't have to tell me anymore, God. I have this one down. He's like, oh yeah, really? Well, let's see about that. So bland diet for me. That's right. So anyway, let me answer some of these questions. And thank you so much for your wonderful questions. I have a lot of these. And so I'm going to start with this. And Karen Abercrombie, she said, Kellee, can you help me make sense of something today? She said, I heard a shocking news that my friend's son passed away unexpectedly. And that's 2 deaths in 2.5 weeks. And the first was first was expected. So it was a happy release. But why do our loved ones sometimes go so unexpectedly? The police are trying to work out why. He suddenly passed. He was having medical tests, and his girlfriend found him This is going to cause massive trauma, as my friend lost her husband not long ago. I mean, it really is hard to navigate this one, Karen. It is nothing I'm going to say is going to make sense at all, but I'm going to try to say it in the kindest way that I can. There will be souls that are just exiting now, and it could be because the world is going to be doing a lot of changes. Do you remember before 2020 when people were suddenly dying? I mean, it was some car accident or sudden heart attack or sudden cancer out. I couldn't believe it. Right before we got to like March 1st, it was left and right. I kept hearing that. And then we had COVID, and these souls didn't sign up for COVID. So what I'm saying is that whatever is around the corner on Earth at this time, and I feel that the world is going to go a bit cattywampus. I think it's going to be, put your seatbelts on. I think it's going to be intense. And so, are some souls leaving early? And why? And especially if you think of it, your friend who's all this loss, and especially the girlfriend that found him. I mean, that's a tough one. That's a real tough one. I'm not sure what. It will open up a lot of people to a lot of spirituality. Is that possibly the reason? I don't know, Karen, and it's hard to explain, but souls actually have a plan. And I don't know this family, but I would say the soul knows what it's doing. So I'm sorry, Karen. That's a tough one. It's such a tough one. I think we're going to be hearing. I've heard so many stories like this too, Karen, that I had to answer the question because I heard this story actually yesterday from somebody else, a very similar story. So again, we're going to be seeing this portal is going to just kind of, people will be exiting. So I hope that helps a little bit. And it's a big one, honey. So Rebecca Allen, 75. Hi, Rebecca. She says, I love a mini reading. My question is, we are looking for a new dog, an Australian Shepherd to adopt. Do you see anything for us in finding one soon? And your birthday is October 6th, which is a 3 of diamonds, but right real close to that eclipse. So dogs make huge changes in our life, huge changes. Oh, you'll definitely get one Australian Shepherd, but you may come with a friend or you may have a second one pretty soon after that. You're going to be busy. So yeah, you're definitely going to get something like that. And then Karen Toon says, Kelly, I would love some insight on having a praying mantis appear in my life. And she said, I first saw it on my window screen, and then a few days later, it was on my steps to my apartment. And your birthday is November 11th. And November 11th is a 9 of clubs. 9 of clubs always comes in to complete, in a large way, to complete a life cycle. But praying mantis is huge when you see a praying mantis. And the symbolism is about, it means this, that we've flooded our lives so much with so much business and so much activity and so much chaos that you can no longer hear the still small voice within. So the praying mantis means, it insists actually that you take a step back, that you learn meditation, you do simple meditation, that you have the power to adapt to any situation, no matter what it is. That you can do that. You can take a deep breath and make the adjustments you need. But praying mantis really means to go inward, like stop and go inward. And there you go. I think that's a good one for you, a really good one for you. So let's see. Oh, Toby L says, I love who you dedicated your book to. Toby, thank you, honey. I dedicated it to my mother. So thank you for that. And Jan Radzo says, Kelly, if past, present, and future is all happening at once, how can trauma from a past life affect someone? Great question. And it's a complicated question, but I'm going to try to answer that in the best way I can. So your past lives and your future lives, for that matter, are intimately connected with your current life, okay? And so in order to gain like a better understanding of this, you have to realize that while our lives appear to be occurring in a linear sequence, from the perspective here on Earth, they are actually outside the confines of time. So in my book, I actually talk about there is no such thing as time. And so the lives can happen concurrently, which is not going to make any sense in a linear pattern that I'm talking about this. But if you change the way that you look, instead of looking linear, if you assume that reincarnation is linear, then it would presume that past lives influence this one and future lives do not, because from your perspective within time, they haven't happened yet. But assuming that reincarnation is a linear process, it also creates a belief that your actions in this current life do not affect your previous life. But when you view your incarnations as something that exists simultaneously, it's easier to understand how all of your lives are tied together and they hold an energetic influence over one another. And so it has a lot to do with this energy that I'm talking about, because life is more about the journey and not the destination. And so sometimes there's an energy that kind of helps. It somehow it affects us with our past life traumas, and it creates energetic blockages and that carry over into this life. And so whether it's an energetic block from this lifetime or a previous lifetime, whatever it is, it would be to work through it. It would absolutely be to work through it, honey, whatever it happens to you, because as you work through it, and that's what the importance of working through your traumas is, you have now released something, and going further, your soul's not carrying that anymore. So I hope that it's a complicated conversation, and I hope I did that a little bit of justice, or maybe I just got it more mixed up, but it's a big one. Also, Karen Abercrombie asked me, she said, Kellee, from your Monday show that I mentioned, I talked about life themes. And for me, yes, responsibility has been my life theme. And she said, well, how do we find out what about our life theme is? Now, I'm going to be doing a show on life themes, Karen. So I'm going to be talking about it then, because there's a lot to say about life themes. But one of the ways you can start is what has always been impacted your life. Like for me, I was responsible from the get-go, always. So, and you are a 5 of clubs, your birthday's October 17th, and 5 of clubs will tell us a little bit about your path, which is, the seeker of truth. Like you're somebody that really, you come to elevate your consciousness in this lifetime. Now, we all come to elevate our consciousness in this lifetime, but a 5 of clubs can't really, they have to keep going and going. And they also have to continuously move or travel, or there's a lot of energy behind a 5 of clubs here, the seeker of truth. So that kind of gives me a little indication of what a life theme is, but I'll be talking about it. It's what has gravitated to you in this lifetime. Like, what is it? And we change life themes. I mean, this doesn't have to be my life theme going forward, but anyway, and so I'm going to do a whole show on that. So thank you for that. And so Sherry Kraft says, Kellee, how do you know if you fulfilled your karmic debt to somebody? So the thing is, it's a great question, Sherry. How do you know when you have fulfilled your karmic debt to somebody? There's almost an energetic lifting up where you can just almost feel it. Like you don't owe this person anymore. Maybe there was some forgiveness. Maybe there was some compassion. Maybe there was some, I don't know, goodness that you can recall or not. But there's an energetic pull. Then when there's a pull like towards you, then you know it's like still kind of there. And then you get to a point where you start to feel the energy slip away. That it's not the karmic. The contract is up. So I hope that's the way to explain it. Lisa Strand says, Kellee, I have one question. When you hear divine messages after your spiritual awakening, is it coming through in your own voice? And you need to discern which are your thoughts or are they messages? So discernment is everything. So when I hear something, when I get a message or a thought that has great significance to it, for me, it feels like I'm getting it from a wisdom place. So it's not in my own voice. It's not in even the way I necessarily think. So and I've had to discern that. So discernment, it took me a long time to get to discernment. And discernment is part, if you're going into this as a medium or a healer or any of that, you have to use your own, you have to learn discernment. So for me, it did not come in my own voice. And sometimes I'll hear messages very loudly. It's definitely not my own voice. I mean, it's just not. So for me, it feels like it's coming from a place of total wisdom somewhere. And I'll think, oh, wow, where'd that come from? But that's where it comes from. So I hope that answers your question. Michelle, love the book. Thank you. I appreciate that. So let's see. Let me ask some other questions. Oh, Sandy Stundner. Hi. I was talking to a client this morning, early in the morning. I think it was at 7:30 your time in California. And I was on the phone with her. And she said, Kellee, we're having an earthquake. And then I could hear all this kaboom in the background, all of her books falling off her shelf. Oh, gosh. Yeah, 4.6. I heard that. Sherry, I don't think my book's available in a store yet, but it's on Amazon. So there you go. Hi, Tammy from Niagara Falls. Oh, gosh. So nice. Lisa says, Kellee, I love your book. I couldn't put it down. Thank you so much. Deborah says, thank you for the book. It is transforming my mindset. Thank you. I really, really, really appreciate that. Oh my gosh, everybody. Okay, Nancy J. She says, Kellee, any messages? And your birthday is on that eclipse. Nancy, here's the message. You are a 7 of clubs. If you were born on September 17th, 7 of clubs is about elevating to the highest degree their spirituality. The highest degree, overcoming on the low side. It's overcoming any negative thoughts or any critical judgments or any alcohol or drug use or anything like that. Overcoming and then taking it to the next level or the highest level of spirituality. And you're on that eclipse day. Ooh, that should be some birthday. I would say your life is going to change. And my birthday's on the 20th. So I'm not too far behind you. Hi, Tiffy Landis says, I loved your book. Thank you. Marilyn says, you're amazing. Thank you. Just finished reading your Courageous Life Journey. And today is your son's birthday on 9/12. So let's get a card for him from The Power of Love. Absolutely. Let us do that. Okay. This is from James's deck, The Power of Love, which I love his cards. He's got great cards. Let me just get this out. Here you go. For your son here. Are they like making fun of me? Discernment. You are developing the skills to distinguish love from fear and truth from illusion. I think they're just having fun today. So your son will be paying attention to discernment here. I would say he'd be having a lot of discernment. And before I forget, Vicki, I want to get you a card from your beloved husband, Mike. Let us do this. This is from Talking to Heaven, everybody, which are great cards. And we go, Vicki. You are never alone. Well, that is the truth. You are never alone, honey. Here, you know, when you have sometimes I'll get these husbands, but there's nobody quite like Mike, who passed away, who will give me so many messages for his wife. He's amazing. So I appreciate that. And I know he loves you so much. Independent says, Kellee, I loved your interview with James. Thank you, guys. I so appreciate it. Oh, Carolyn East, loving seeing your light shine brighter than ever. Thank you so much, Carolyn, for the kind words. And I know you had a question here. Carolyn, if I can find your question. Oops, I had it, and now I'm not sure what I did with it. Oh, my gosh. Hold on a second. Where did I put your – I don't know. You know what, Karen? I am so sorry. I thought I had it, but I guess oh, wait. No, I don't have it. Oh, my God. I can't believe it. I had it. Now I don't have it. That's the strangest thing. Okay, Laura Crum. Hi, Laura. She says, hi, beautiful Kellee. My husband, uncle, and his cousins lost their aunt, mom, and wife suddenly and unexpectedly on August 28th. I'm so sorry. That was at Gandanta Point. They are sickened with grief as they do not understand it. They're hoping so much for a sign so they can feel like she's there with him. Now I have a card. Let's get you a card from them. Absolutely. And this is from Talking to Heaven. And the thing is, she will be giving signs. I just saw butterflies. I just saw flowers. Look in the clouds. She will be working her bottom off to try to get signs to everybody. The problem is when you're in so much grief, it's really hard to see and to feel. But I promise you she is around, totally around. She says, I'm learning over here. So she's going to be learning all kinds of tricks to figure out how to get all kinds of things for you guys. Just hold that thought. She's only been there for not just 2 weeks or so. That's nothing. You have to give them a little bit of time. Sometimes they come right up with turning on and off the lights and all this. She'll figure it out. Don't worry, she will. Annie Tremblay says, Kelly, I hope your book will be translated in French. And she says, I have many friends that would like to read it. Thank you, Annie. I did talk to my marketing team about that, and we are going to do French and Spanish, probably closer towards the end of the year. But thank you, and thank you for that. Ernestine Bean, Kelly, can I have a card? And your birthday is 5/16, 3 of diamonds. Let's get a card from you. Here we go. Gratitude. You fully appreciate the invaluable lessons that life lovingly presents to you. Gratitude. There you go. Okay, so this is from Suzanne Weiss. She says, Kelly, I loved your book. Thank you. She says, I'm having reoccurring dreams of being lost. Now, all of us can relate to this. Has anybody had a dream of being lost? She said, the location are usually the same and they're familiar to me. And one location is a park or the woods where I can't find my way back. The other in a city where I parked my car and I can't find it. People are always present trying to help me, but these people are stalling to help and keep me with them as I wait for their help. I have a sense of mistrust towards them, but feel without their help, I can't find my way. Are you able to help me understand? Yeah. So you're actually trying to formulate your own directions here. That you already told me that you don't feel like you trust these people anyway. You really have to forge your own way. In your dream, you can find your way back. You're forging a new road, honey. And so it might look different. Your road may look differently than it has been. So, and when we start to have a spiritual awakening, we often will have dreams of being lost because in our unconscious, we're used to the same thing or whatever. But now you are coming out in a different way. You're coming to a place of awakening. And so trust yourself. Trust yourself. A great dream. Excellent dream. Trust yourself. Okay? You're actually on the right road. Actually on a really good road here. Regina Clark, she says, Kelly, is there any likelihood that I'll have a new partner, a good kind of a guy in my life in this incarnation? Well, why not? 12/7. And your birthday is 12/7. And 12/7 is a Jack of Clubs and a King of Clubs. So a Jack of Clubs is so creative. So here's what you need to do, Regina, if you can. Create, a loving atmosphere for yourself. I'm sure you have, but a loving atmosphere for yourself. And it's never too late. You did not miss a boat on that. I would absolutely say that it is possible in this incarnation to have a love, especially with these eclipses coming up. They're going to change things. So if love is what you've been looking for, boom, that can enter the picture. So it's going to be a fascinating time to see what enters everybody's life and how everybody's life will change. Okay. Evie Freedy says, Kelly, I need a card tonight. Here we go. Let's get you a card. Freedom. You are releasing any self-imposed restrictions or perceived limitations through the loving energy of openness. I mean, that's a perfect card, especially for this kind of energy with these eclipses. Oh my gosh. Tammy Connor says, my granddaughter will be born any day now. Congratulations. Isn't that wonderful? Wow. Fantastic. I mean, listen, again, as I was saying, these souls are coming in and some of them are exiting. So it's a very interesting time on Earth here. Judith Maritano says, Kelly, your birthday's on 9/11. Well, God bless you. King of Clubs. So King of Clubs, 9/11 is a King of Clubs. And King of Clubs, and you're a female, your name's Judith, female with a King of Clubs. So that means you have a male brain. You think like a male. Now, a King of Clubs also can outthink anybody. I mean, they're so intuitive. And I would think that this is a year where your intuition kind of goes, maybe hones in, like really get in touch with your intuition. Like it would hone in so hard. Oh my gosh. God, happy birthday to you. Slow Badanka, hi from Melbourne. Hi. Independent, congratulations. Oh, thank you. Dee Dee, I'm feeling fine now. Thanks, honey. Yeah, I got WAP. I got WAP a lot. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Yeah, everything is really good now, Diane and Tim. Thank you so much. Oh, Diane Fiend says, Kendra Scott is wonderful. She supports a lot of nonprofits. Oh, Diane, thanks for telling me that. I'll tell my daughter. I think that's so great. Heather says, I hope you're okay. That's the worst. Oh my God, it really is. Really, Heather. I tell you, I never had anything like I like that before, but I'll say I had every test in the book and now I'm fine. Heather says her birthday is Halloween, which is a Four of Hearts. Four of Hearts is all about family. Let's get you a card. Patience. You are able to let the universal energy of transformation move according to its own loving rhythm. Now, that is a card for you, but it's a card for everybody. If we can have patience, you know, I've always been somebody that's like goes full steam ahead, as you might have read in my book. I go full steam ahead. But what I have learned is there's a rhythm to all of this. I mean, it was James has really taught me about that. And then the universe will whap me to remind me that, Kelly, it's time to go back. You know, it's just time. So I have to think like that. Oh yeah. Thank you, Dawn. Kendra Scott has beautiful jewelry. I'm going to check her book, her jewelry out tonight myself. Hi, Lori Clark. Hi there. Oh my God. So I got to keep going with these questions. Thank you so much for all your questions. Let's see. Matt Scarborough says, I just got your book from Amazon. I'm hunkering down this weekend to read it. My birthday is 9/23, close to me. So 9/23 is Ace of Clubs, I believe, September 23. Yep, Ace of Clubs. And Ace of Clubs is all about learning new, something new, learning new. And your life will be affected because of the eclipses so close. And you and I are in between two eclipses. So the second one, October 2nd, this one coming up on the 17th. Oh, my own. It's going to be, I don't know where it's going to take us, but it's going to be a big change, I would think, totally. And before I forget, I just remembered, Carrie and Rick, if you're watching, I know you wanted me to get a card for your daughter and wife, and here we go. And here's the card. Empathy. You feel and understand the emotions of another in the service of love. They are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful souls. And maybe they're here to teach empathy to others. Wonderful souls. So I got chills on that. So I have a feeling that, oh, Lisa says, I'm highly recommending your book to everyone. God bless you. Thank you. Really, everybody. Thank you for such kind words here. I so appreciate it. Catherine Seaman says, Kelly, my birthday's on September 25th. And it's a milestone, 65. Woohoo. It's a good club to belong to. Take some care along the way there in this club. But September 25th, great birthday. 25th is a Queen of Hearts. So Queen of Hearts really cares deeply about their family, their spouse. They care deeply about them. And they're here, we call this the mother. It's almost like the mother, it's the mother card. And so you would also feel great empathy. You would feel great emotions. And during this, and your birthday again, between these eclipses. So everybody who's an empath, anybody whose birthday is especially during this period of time, watch your emotions. Pay attention to it. 65 is a wonderful year. Congratulations, Catherine. I think this will be life-changing for you this year. Life-changing. I would bet. Heather says, my book would make a super present. Thank you. Thank you. Lori says, your book was beyond helpful and deeply moving. Thank you so much, Lori. I so appreciate it. Leanne says, Kelly, I've been smelling roses around me for the last several evenings. Do you have a sense of who it may be? Ooh, I got chills. I'm not sure if it's a mother figure. I'm not sure. I've got chills on that. A mother figure, grandmother maybe. But I will say this, that one, I don't think I put this in the book. I got to tell you, I had so many things happen. I could write in fact, we took out 200 pages. I'm not kidding. It was just too much. But one of the things that happened to me, and I just don't remember if I put this in the book, I'll have to check. I had this all of a sudden started smelling roses. And I mean, to the point where I was like conjuring up roses, the smell of roses. I worked with a healer once who told me if you put the thought in your head and you just start, making this roses. And so I did that, and roses were everywhere. And it got to the point where my sister said, stop with the roses. It's making me sick. I continued. So anyway, it's a way to wake up. Somebody's giving you a message. It's definitely got to be a grandmother or a grandmother, honey. Somebody like that. That's my sense of it. and enjoy it, because I love when they give us messages. Like sometimes if somebody was a smoker, we get the smoke, or the roses, we get the rose. Or the other day I had one of my mom's perfume just wafted right by me. I said, "Oh my gosh, Mom!" And I just wanted to keep inhaling it, but it disappears. But boy, it's amazing too. Independent says, Kellee, it's draining with ascension too. Yes, it is. So everybody needs to take really good care of themselves, because it is. It can be draining. All of this awakening in this kind of chaotic chaos, cattywampus energy. But what other energy is going to wake us up? If you think about it, this energy had to happen, and as it's happening, to really make us realize we're a soul having a human experience. That's all. That's it. But it is a powerful time during this time. So let's see. Angel says, can I get a card? And your birthday is February 5th. And February 5th, I am going to get you a card, Angel. Hold on a second. February 5th is a deep birthday, because it's a 7 of spades. And also it comes with a 2 of spades. So you're here to, I would say, definitely be a healer. Definitely, whenever I see a 7 of spades, especially in February, they're always healers. And about taking care and overcoming your own fear. And then after that, helping others on a deep level. So let's get you a card here. I hope that makes sense to you. Action. You have the courage to express the unique loving colors of your soul. And again, this kind of goes along with what I was saying. Be vulnerable. Be vulnerable. It really is where it's at, to be vulnerable. It just helps you be who you are. Melania Stan, congratulations on your new book. Thanks, Melania. I have such a tough year full of anxiety and worries. Any advice if my life will get better and easier? And your birthday is 10/29, 6 of hearts. So 10/29, you'll be also affected deeply by the eclipse. And so 6 of hearts, bless your heart, 6 of hearts, which is one of my favorite cards. It has a lot to do with family, and it has a lot to do with picking up everybody's neurosis and then having to deal with it and process it, and family first, and families could be so dysfunctional. And so my message is this: try not to pick up anybody else's energy. It's really going to be a hard one, but your life will change too with these eclipses. And everybody should do this. For this eclipse, start thinking of what it is you want to release. Start thinking about it now. Don't wait till Tuesday. Start thinking about it now, over the weekend while we're talking. What is it that you want to release? I mean, literally every day, and then write it on a piece of paper. And I'll tell you what, on that eclipse day, a great thing would be to light it on fire and do it. Like, this is what I want to release. This is, somebody hurt me. This is what I'm holding on to. I'm holding on to this and this. And I'm also always wanting everybody to know, get therapy if you need it. Go get medical advice if you need it. Go whatever it is that you need. Be honest with yourself and make a list of action things of what you will do. And then also make another list of what you want to let go of. Okay? Because it's everything is possible right now to work through all of your situations, but be really honest with yourself with that. But then start really making these lists. Okay. Here we go. Bonnie Kemper says, a lot of friends and family have been coming to me to help them with their problems recently, which I am happy to help, but I'm starting to feel a bit overwhelmed. Really? I wonder what that would be like. Are you, Bonnie, and I'll get you a card, 11-5. Are you a therapist, honey? Because what happens is this, somebody who is, you can almost feel the therapist person in them, and that's who people will go to for help. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. And your birthday is 11-5, 2 of diamonds. 2 of diamonds does come to be very creative. They're very intuitive, and I'm sure you have a tremendous amount of wisdom there. And so always make sure you're taking care of yourself, because it can be draining. It can be very draining. And I keep really strong boundaries. Yeah, sometimes my boundaries get a little weakened, and I have to go back, and Don will say, no, we got to stop now because I've got too many things going on. But anyway, so that's That's it. Okay, Julie Akers. Kellee, I've been going through a very difficult time and I'm not able to work in my spiritual business. Anything, and I'm getting 62173. Anything you can help will be appreciated. So, Julie, as a spiritual worker in spiritual business, so many of us are going through difficult times right now. So many people. And I would say, take care of yourself. And I'm going to hold on a second. 621. I do want you to take care of yourself. And that could just be the time. You're a 9 of clubs with a 9 of spades, which means 9 of clubs and a 9 of spades together. It comes to complete a soul cycle. And so in this lifetime, you'd be completing something. Know when it's time to let go and know when it's time to take care of yourself. And now is the time to take care of yourself. Your spiritual business will remain there. It'll probably grow from the people do take breaks. They do. I remember, was it last year or the year before? I took 3, almost 4 months off. I mean, there are times when you just do it. Take care of yourself, honey. Okay? Wanda Mann says, Kellee, hold on that. Wanda Mann says, Kellee, tell me it's a good eclipse. My grandson's getting married Saturday the 17th. Well, Saturday is not the 17th. Saturday's the 14th. If he's getting that, that's perfect. Good for him. People get married during eclipses because it's life-changing. So absolutely. I know a lot of people that are getting married on this eclipse and go to, oh, absolutely. It'll be a fascinating time. Okay, Melissa, she says, Kellee, I have a question. With this eclipse, I've not been the same with our electronics. Ooh, good question. Breaking. Electronics are breaking. I have old friends and new friends, with new friends returning. Okay, so that happens during eclipses. Old friends go, new friends come back, or old friends come back. Oh, that absolutely happens. Weird dreams? Totally. Watch your dreams, everybody. You're going to be like, what? I had the strangest dreams. I can't wait to find out. I should do a show just on the dreams that people had during eclipses. You had a dream with James in it. I've heard that from a lot of times. I have a lot of dreams with James in my dreams, and he'll say the same to me. Hearing noises like knocking on my floor and hearing talking and crying before I sleep. So I think, Melissa, there's probably just a lot of energy going on in your life, a lot of emotions that are coming up for you. So I would say allow yourself to just cry when you need to, honey. Just cry. Okay, so Sherry Traxinger says, Kellee, my sister passed away 5 weeks ago. Oh my God, after being diagnosed with cancer. Then my cousin, I'm so sorry, that just passed through cancer. It's a short time. I'm so sorry, Sherry. Let's get you a card, honey. Here we go. We are soulmates. So your sister's reaching out to tell you that. All right? And sorry that happened, honey. I'm telling you, it's an interesting time. And I'm hearing this across the board from people. Kathy Zudnik says, my sister's boyfriend just passed suddenly a few weeks ago, too. That's what I'm talking about, this sudden thing. This sudden thing is just shocking, except that, remember, Uranus is also retrograde, and Uranus means shock and surprise. And again, these planets are just intense. Next Thursday, I'll go over a lot more, and we'll talk about the upcoming eclipse after this one. But everybody... this is quite a time. Don DeGroat says, did you or others notice significant awareness yesterday? Oh, did I ever? Yes, it's always significant. However, the 23rd approach felt, okay. Don, thank you. Oh, I've got chills. She says, it felt especially strong yesterday. Wondering if it's because our nation's election soon approaching. Probably, Don. I felt such a strong energy yesterday. And in fact, I I always ask when I feel this kind of energy, is it me? Is it Don? Is it my daughter? We got my grandchildren? Is it the world? And I really felt significance on the world that when it came down to that. So I felt the same energy. So thanks for mentioning that. Karen Schumann says, my brand new great grandnephew was born on Friday, August 30th. Oh my God, he's 9 of hearts. He's beautiful. He'll have depth to him, Karen. Okay, one last question, Ryan, if you want to put that up, and then. Okay, Connie Reardon says, how come when I'm in a crowded room, I always feel alone? It's hard for me to give my whole heart because it feels like everyone abandons me. My daughter, Heather's birthday is 9/28. She is gone for 26 years. Oh, well, let's get you a card from her. Well, Connie, I'm not sure. Maybe you're an empath and it's hard to, that's a real deep conversation that I could have with you. It's a deep conversation that you always feel alone. She says, Mom, I see all of your thoughts. I see all of your thoughts there. Okay, she's always around with you. She says to say, you're not alone, I'm here. So everybody, if you can, shop tonight at Kendra Scott. And I'm going to do that. And buy my book at kelleewhite.com or Amazon and kendrascott.com. And there's a code GIVEBACK. So go ahead and look at that. And I'll see you on Monday. We have a really good guest who wrote a book called Channeled Messages of Hope. I had to get the book out. And he's going to be doing messages of hope from Lincoln and Washington and Tesla and all of this. I mean, it's going to be amazing. What an amazing show. So we're excited about Monday night's show. And next week we'll be talking about more eclipse and we might be talking about life themes. I'm not sure yet. So everybody have a wonderful week. Take some rest. Make these notes for yourself of what you want to get rid of and the things that you want to work on. Okay? All right. Much love, everybody. Have a great week.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.